I am watching the dish.
Murid yang dikasih tugas bahasa Inggris sama gurunya 10 tambah 6 berapa? 60.
Baru tahu di Indonesia nggak ada subjek English. Nggak. Cuma kalau Malaysia pakai dui bahasa. Jadi dia matematikanya, math.
Such a great time, and I think another thing that did help was that they all speak English. Like 95% of the people that I've met here.
Oh hai, oh halo, hai teman-teman, apa kabar kalian hari ini? Jumpa lagi bersama Sari ya. Sari doakan dimanapun kalian berada tetap diberikan kesehatan, selalu semangat yang pastinya. Sari doakan juga dipermudahkan segala urusan kalian ya. Oke teman-teman, nah di video kali ini Sari terjumpa salah satu video yang sedikit mengkhawatirkan ya teman-teman, disebabkan ada seorang siswa di Indonesia itu disuruh oleh gurunya buat satu video a day in my life, satu hari di dalam hidup kita gunakan bahasa Inggris. Tapi dia ini adalah siswa SMA, sekolah menengah atas. Kalau di Malaysia macam sekolah menengah lah ya, tapi yang sudah form 3, form 4, form 5 macam tu. Tapi dia bahasa Inggrisnya itu agak gimana ya, agak mengkhawatirkan lah ya. Juga perkataannya itu yang diucapkan itu salah ya, dan yang tak betul ya kebanyakannya. Nah itu menjadi perbincangan ya teman-teman, sehingga viral juga dibahas oleh beberapa influencer. Katanya mengkhawatirkan juga tentang pendidikan sekarang di Indonesia. Nah, bukan hanya tentang bahasa Inggris. Mungkin nanti dikatakannya bahwa kita harus menggunakan bahasa ibunda kan gitu. Tapi ini tentang poin juga yang lainnya. Oke, sebenarnya mana tahu ada yang penasaran kan, di Indonesia ada belajar bahasa Inggris ke? Ya ada ya. Saya pun dari TK lagi, taman kanak-kanak, macam tadika juga sudah diajar bahasa Inggris. Di penerapan di dalam kehidupan sehari-hari itu yang kurang. Oke, tapi sebelum Sari membahas lebih lanjutnya lagi, kita dengarkan dulu video ini ya teman-teman. Oke, cium.
Coba kalian pasang kuping kalian.
Boleh,
Kalian
gini
dengerin ya.
Hello everyone, just walk.
Boleh,
I am watching the dish. And I continued sweep. And I continued to dry the clothes. And yes, I
Jadi video itu adalah video viral dari seorang murid yang dikasih tugas bahasa Inggris sama gurunya. Jadi gurunya itu bilang tugas bahasa Inggrisnya itu buat a day in my life tapi pakai bahasa Inggris. Maksud aku nih ya, bahasa Inggrisnya kok ya separah itu gitu. Apakah memang dia di SMA ini baru diajarin bahasa Inggris dari dulu dia lahir sampai di SMA nggak belajar bahasa Inggris, makanya dia pronounsnya kayak gitu? Aku juga nggak tahu gitu loh. Tapi menurutku ini parah kali karena dia ngomong I itu I. Terus ada lagi yang lebih miris nih. Oke lah, itu bahasa Inggris, bahasa asing yang tidak dikuasai oleh dia. Karena kan kita tinggal di Indonesia, oke, bahasa Indonesia number one. Oke, aku terima. Tapi ada lagi yang viral di TikTok ya kemarin, 10 tambah 6 berapa? 60. 60 ha. Itu yang 10 tambah 6 itu hasilnya 60 itu dijawab sama anak SMP. Ya, anakku kelas 1 SD udah belajar 10 tambah 15 kayak gitu loh. Ini kau SMP.
SMP udah besar juga ya.
Maksudku kau ngapain aja di sekolah gitu loh. Menurutku ini adalah contoh-contoh yang sangat parah gitu. Bahkan yang di bahasa Inggris itu ya, di komennya ada yang bilang bahwasanya teman-temanku juga kayak gini semua. Kok bisa?
Mengkhawatirkan
gitu
ya.
loh. Ini sekarang yang salah siapa? Yang salah apakah muridnya yang nggak mau belajar, atau gurunya yang tidak ngajarin, atau orang tuanya yang nggak mau tahu soal pendidikan anaknya? Itu loh. Karena kan anakku kan kelas 1 SD, ku ajarinya waktu dia ujian hari itu kan, ku tengoknya belajar apa aja gitu kan. Semua dipelajari loh, kelas 1 SD dipelajari loh semua sama apa yang diajari sama orang ini. Jadi kok bisa sampai segininya gitu loh. Kalau 10 tambah 6, 60, kok bisa naik kelas sampai SMP? Itu dia pertanyaanku. Makanya nih, aku tuh, anakku mau pindah ke sini itu ya, aku sangat-sangat selektif dalam memilih sekolah gitu.
Oh,
Aku
iya
nggak
ya.
mau nanti anakku jadi kayak gini. Kau bayangkan, kalau misalnya nanti dia udah besar, ya kan, dia nyari kerja. Karena mamanya ini bukan miliarder, Wak. Nggak mungkin kalau misalnya nanti dia udah lulus, dia nggak sekolah, dia nikmati duit mamanya aja, itu nggak mungkin. Karena mamanya bukan miliarder. Kecuali mamanya miliarder, karena sadar aku bukan miliarder, aku kasih bekal terbaik untuk anakku. Ku pantau juga hari ini sekolah belajar apa aja. Semua missnya itu kasih tuh, semua detailnya. Makanya aku nggak tahu ini salah siapa kalau misalnya udah anak-anak zaman sekarang ini udah kayak gitu kualitasnya. 10 tambah 6, 60, bahasa Inggris iam, pening lah kepala.
Baru tahu di Indonesia nggak ada subjek English. Nggak, ini salah paham. Salah paham.
Ada.
Di Indonesia ada subjek Inggris
Tapi
dan itu wajib gitu. Tapi masalahnya ialah kita belajar gitu ya kan. Terus habis itu ujian exam pasti dong. Semua belajar pasti ada exam. Udah selesai exam ya udah gitu. Jadi
Gunakan
kita
bahasa
cuman kayak
Indonesia
belajar
lagi
gitu
ya.
doang. Nggak diaplikasikan keseharian gitu. Karena kalau lo ngomong keseharian kayak Inggris-Inggrisan gitu kayak Cinta Laura, kena
yes,
bully.
diejek ya.
Bulinya parah masih gitu.
So
Jadi kayak
Inggris.
orang tidak mau, jadinya nggak bisa gitu. Karena memang nggak dilatih kan gitu. Paham nggak? Udah gitu juga yang gue bilang buku nggak ada Inggris itu, kita memang semua pakai bahasa Indo. Jadi jangan ngeremehin Indo doang. Padahal di negara Thailand juga bukunya Thailand semua. Cina bukunya Cina semua. Vietnam bukunya Vietnam semua. Kan gitu. Kita Indonesia bukunya bahasa Indonesia semua. Cuma kalau Malaysia pakai dui bahasa. Jadi dia matematikanya, math dia itu pakai Inggris juga. Tapi kalau kita enggak, kalau kita Indo pure, misalkan kayak akar kuadrat gitu-gitu. Pokoknya pelajaran-pelajaran logaritma apalah semua itu pakai bahasa Indo. Jadi dia nggak pakai bahasa Inggris dan kita nggak tahu bahasa Inggrisnya apa. Kadang gitu. Ya gitu ya. Jadi jangan mikir nggak ada bahasa Inggris. Ada tapi nggak di-apply aja gitu. Paham nggak? Sekadar paham.
Memang sebetulnya ada ya teman-teman, Sari juga belajar daripada TK lagi ya, tadika macam itu sampai ke SMA itu kita ada belajar bahasa Inggris ya. Guru juga ajar juga bahasa Inggris. Tapi ya teman-teman, ketika waktu saya ya, waktu di sekolah itu terkadang teacher itu, guru itu dia mengajar, menerangkan, dia explain itu gunakan bahasa Indonesia walaupun itu adalah lagi belajar bahasa Inggris. Kita belajar verb, dia akan ajar guna bahasa Indonesia. Nah, walaupun yang dijelaskan dia itu adalah bahasa Inggris. Sometimes kita tahu cara macam mana menggabungkan ya, ini kata kerja dicampur dengan verb. Ya, kalau kita belajar bahasa Inggris ketika itu saja. Ketika kita berada di rumah, kita sembang dengan kawan, kita gunakan bahasa Indonesia kembali. Kalau kita gunakan bahasa Inggris ya, ada beberapa orang yang cakap nanti sok-sok bahasa Inggris ya kan, sombong katanya gitu. Jadi kita menahan itu. Jadi keep lah kepada diri kita sendiri saja, sekedar belajar saja. Tapi untuk conversation agak terhambat ya teman-teman.
Oke, jadi ada yang tanya aku apa itu bahasa Jaksel. Jaksel is
Jakarta
Jakarta Selatan. Bahasa Jaksel basically adalah sama kayak bahasa KL. Exactly bahasa KL. Kenapa? Karena bahasa ibu kita, mother tongue, dicampur dengan English. For Malaysian, KL itu adalah bahasa sehari-hari. Itu adalah bahasa common untuk digunakan di sekolah, untuk digunakan di pekerjaan, tongkrongan atau society kalian, ataupun ngomong sama stranger. Everything, hari-hari ngomongnya Inggris campur bahasa ibu. Yaitu kalau di Malaysia Melayu dengan English, kalau kita bahasa Indo dengan English. Udah gitu aja sebenarnya. Oke, jadi ada stereotype atau stigma bahasa Jaksel itu adalah bahasa yang wow, yang keren banget gitu. Baik doh,
Baik
gitu.
doh.
Kenapa? Karena orang Indonesia ini memang kurang mengetahui bahasa Inggris. Karena memang di pelajaran kita, di sekolah, buku, everything, society, kita bahkan tidak menyentuh Inggris sama sekali. Karena memang lingua franca kita adalah Indonesian, bahasa Indonesia. Jadi most of us, I can admit that Indonesian people Inggrisnya kurang. Yang bagus ya bagus karena memang dia ada hati keinginan untuk mempelajarinya. Tapi kebanyakan society Indonesia ini adalah crab mentality. Dia nggak pengen melihat kawannya dia maju. Jadi dihina, dijudge, dibully.
Buat yang mau liburan ke luar negeri, bahasa Inggrisnya tolong dikondisikan, tolong. Buat yang bahasa Inggrisnya bagus gitu ya, yang bisa berkomunikasi dengan bahasa Inggris dengan baik, kalau lo traveling ke negara-negara yang orang-orang yang nggak bisa bahasa Inggris, tolong bahasa Inggrisnya jangan terlalu sophisticated. Tolong dibikin simple aja, dibikin segampang mungkin aja. Gue tertarik ngebahas ini karena kemarin lewat di FYP gue ada salah satu TikToker bule di Bali yang dia juga membahas soal hal ini. Dia bilang, please lah bahasa Inggrisnya tuh kalau komunikasi ke orang lokal jangan terlalu yang berat gitu, jangan terlalu yang
Betul.
kayak lo berkomunikasi sama orang-orang yang berbahasa Inggris juga. Carilah kata-kata yang simple. Karena kalau misalnya kita dulu di sekolah kan diajarinnya misalnya ke restoran, mau pesen kan kita diajarinnya yang sopan adalah I'd like to order a glass of water please. Nah kalau di negara-negara yang orang-orang yang bisa bahasa Inggris ya paham itu maksudnya apa. Tapi kalau yang bahasa Inggrisnya pas-pasan bahkan cenderung nggak bisa, ya nggak ngerti itu maksudnya apa.
Campur-campur
Jadi
ya.
bikin simple aja, kayak misalnya lo mau order air putih sama nasi putih gitu, ya udah bilangnya water one, rice one. Orang tuh lebih gampang nangkepnya gitu, nggak usah dibikin
Yes.
yang sophisticated, nggak usah dibikin yang rumit. Jadi tolong nih ya yang mau
Oke,
liburan
thank
keluar
you for
negeri, bahasa
explanation.
Inggris.
Teman-teman, nah kita bahas dulu ini sebelum lanjut lagi. Nah, untuk tadi katanya bahasa Inggrisnya tolong dikondisikan. Oke, sebelumnya Sari pernah reaction kan, ada ditanya salah satu influencer Thailand tentang kenapa orang Malaysia itu hampir rata-rata itu tahu bahasa Inggris. Itu Sari ingat satu video ya, influencer Thailand itu menginterview orang Malaysia. Katanya macam ini ya, kalau kita mau cakap bahasa Inggris, kita just cakap saja, tidak payah memikirkan sangat tentang grammar ya. Nah, jadi orang faham sudah gitu ya teman-teman. Karena katanya di US country sana pun mereka grammarnya pun terkadang salah ya teman-teman. Nah gitu ya. Jadi yang maksud abang itu tadi, kalau kita keluar negara, apalagi ke negara-negara yang bahasa Inggrisnya itu rakyatnya itu kurang, bahasa Inggris kita itu kena kita simpelkan supaya mereka itu paham ya, seperti itu teman-teman. Kedua, ini ramai juga ya netizen itu hari mengatakannya kalau Malaysia itu suka bahasa rojak, maksudnya dicampur-campur ya, bahasa Inggris campur bahasa Melayu. Nah itu ya teman-teman, setahu Sari kebanyakan itu di kota, macam di daerah Kuala Lumpur lah ya, kebanyakan seperti itu. Nah seperti yang dikatakan abang itu tadi tentang bahasa itu, bahasa rojak yang dicampur-campur itu juga wujud di Indonesia. Nah itu di Jakarta Selatan ya, mostly mereka gunakan campur bahasa Indonesia, campur bahasa Inggris. Jadi jangan mengatakan negara orang, kita pun ada. Jakarta Selatan. Dan terkadang mereka yang di sana itu ada juga yang tak tahu bahasa Indonesia ya teman-teman, disebabkan mereka itu kebanyakan ya macam artis-artis, mereka sekolahkan anaknya itu kepada sekolah internasional. Sebenarnya banyak ya keuntungan kita itu mempelajari bahasa asing. Bilang di Indonesia itu mau bahasa ibunda saja tidak juga ya, ada juga gunakan bahasa Inggris. Saya di sekolah juga dulu ada mempelajari bahasa asing lainnya teman-teman. Sekolah Sari itu dipilih untuk mempelajari bahasa Jerman. Guten Morgen, macam itu ya. Pengetahuan kita semakin banyak peluang kita bekerja, berkenalan dengan orang di luar, nah dan macam-macam ya teman-teman.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another day in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Actually, let me reword that. Welcome back to one of my last days here in Kuala Lumpur. I'm gonna miss the city a lot. Sad to say that I have decided to leave after being here for about 2 months.
2 bulan.
I'll be telling you guys why I've decided to leave after 2 months, but first I'm gonna start off with all the pros before I get to the actual reason about why I'm leaving and why it's just not for me. I should have started this video somewhere a little bit more quiet, so I'm gonna walk down this road over here. So first, I'm gonna start off with the obvious. I'm gonna start off about the people. Me as a foreigner here, as a visible foreigner in Malaysia, I've had nothing but good experiences with the people of all ethnicities in Malaysia. You know, there's 3 big ethnicities here. There's Malay people, there's Chinese people, there's Indians. I haven't had a problem with any of them. They've all been so nice, so welcoming. Like, it's just been such a great time. And I think another thing that did help was that they all speak
itulah tadi kan
English. Like
salah satu
95% of the people that I've met here, we all understand each other. They all speak English. Like, yeah, obviously not everybody speaks the same level of English, but they understand
Basicnya
everything.
ya.
Even if they can't like elaborate on what they're trying to say to you, they understand everything you're saying. Like, I'm telling you, majority of people understood me fully, so I didn't have a single problem having a conversation with anybody here. And you know what? That helps a lot, because being a foreigner, like most foreigners that come here, most likely speak English, especially if they're coming from North America or Europe or Australia or wherever, right?
Memudahkan
Another
ya,
thing in
tahu bahasa
regards to the
Inggris.
people, so for a country that has a lot of tourism, I was never pushed to like buy anything. Like, you know, when you go to countries and like people are constantly like haggling you and like you feel forced to like buy something from them or from their store, I never got that energy here, and I really like that. Not pushy at all. You like it, you buy it. You don't like it, we're not gonna force you or like make you feel bad that you're not buying it. I love that about Malaysia. Like, nothing was forced. That's the worst type of
Oke
feeling.
teman-teman, 55% yang dia jumpa itu orang-orang Malaysia itu boleh jawab ya, walaupun tidak sama levelnya. Macam ada yang tahu sangat bahasa Inggris, ada juga yang tahu juga tapi kurang banyak mungkin bercakap sangat ya. Setidaknya dia tuh paham ya teman-teman, dan boleh menjawab sedikit. Nah, itu yang mungkin dia tuh sangat selesa di sini. Dan satu lagi, tidak ada paksaan katanya. Kalau membeli sesuatu, memang kalau Sari lihat ya, dekat mana itu ya, dekat China gitu ya, kita kalau membeli barang, kita tanya saja, wah, dia pikir itu kita sudah mau membelinya, padahal kita just mau tanya saja, belum tentu kita berniat membelinya kan. Jadi macam tak selesa gitu. Tapi kalau di sini katanya kalau membeli beli, kalau tidak tidak gitu teman-teman. Itu yang dia suka. Wow, kita lanjut lagi.
Feeling to have when you go somewhere, when you feel like wherever you go, doesn't matter where you go, you guys know there's a lot of countries like this, people that have traveled, it's the worst feeling, and a lot of people get pushed away from traveling to countries that like you're always like
selesa,
pressured
ya.
to buy something, or they're always like trying to trick you or scam you. You do not get that energy here in Malaysia. Everybody is so sweet, so nice, and I'm being honest, 100% honest with you guys. Right when I'm filming, there's construction everywhere, which leads me to my next topic. Kuala Lumpur has very good infrastructure. A lot of things here are brand new. There's brand new highways everywhere. There's some highways that are like stacked on top of each other, and apparently it's cut the like time that you drive to certain places down by half apparently. Another thing that's beautiful here is their accommodation. You could get beautiful, beautiful, beautiful condos in the heart of the city, infinity pool, fitness center, everything, 24-hour security, you name it, for like $700 to $1,000 per month. And I'm talking for like a 2 or 3 bedroom condo. You're not gonna get that in too many other places in this world, I'm telling you right now. The prices for luxury living is extremely
Ya,
affordable.
bagi dia ya.
And another note in regards to these condos, the quality is amazing. I'll tell you right now, I'm from a first world country, born and raised, and we don't have condos like this over there. Over here, it's something else. They're gorgeous.
Ya, betul ke?
And lastly, in
Tak ada?
regards to development and like infrastructure, there are world-class shopping malls within like minutes away from each other. I think from between 10 minutes from each mall. So you have TRX, which is their brand new, like probably one of the nicest malls I've ever seen in my life. And I've been to malls all around the world. So you have TRX, you walk 10 minutes, you get to Pavilion, which is in like the heart of Bukit Bintang. And then if you go another 10 minutes, I believe, you're at Surya, which is right under the Twin Towers, the famous Twin Towers over there. What were they called? Oh, Petronas. So right under there, that's another beautiful mall with like the luxury of all luxuries. And besides these top 3 malls that are all right next to each other, there's like so many other malls around. Like there's Mega City, there's Velocity, there's Times Square, there's
banyak kali
These
mall
are
ya.
all just malls that I could think about off the top of my head. Like there's so many more. If you're looking for indoor luxury beauty, you want to go for a walk when it's too hot or too sunny outside, within like 10 minutes you could be at gorgeous malls, like beautiful, luxurious. You can't beat it. They've done a great job at that. Now let's talk about affordability. So I've mentioned it a little bit prior to this when I was talking about the condos. For what you're getting here, in regards to like infrastructure, brand new condos, 24-hour security, fresh food, fresh fruit everywhere over here, things are still extremely affordable. Like when I mean affordable, I'm speaking about the people first of all. I don't want anybody to get angry at me. I'm speaking at the people that earn dollars, that earn euros, that earn pounds.
Mestilah murah kan.
This is aimed at
Jauh
foreigners
harganya.
and expats come into Malaysia. When I say it's affordable, so it's extremely affordable for those earning a foreign currency that has a lot of power here. Like when I mean affordable, I made a video, I don't know if you guys watched it or not, but for $5 to $10, you could feed yourself for the day. There aren't two around this world where you could do that, especially for everything that they offer you here. As I mentioned, safety, infrastructure, cheap, luxurious accommodation, cheap transportation. You don't need to buy a car here in Kuala Lumpur. You just get a Grab for like $2 to $5. You could go to most places. Your most expensive Grab ride will be the one going to the airport or the one coming from the airport. Food, I can't forget about the food. Malaysian food is world famous. Personally, I've never heard about Malaysian food before because I'm from Canada. We don't really have a Malaysian population there. So when I came here, I found out how famous it is and how many foreigners are in love with the food. And honestly, when I tasted it, it was so flavorful. Like they actually have good food. Their like most famous dish here is called nasi lemak. If you've never tried it before, even if you're not in Malaysia, if you stumble across like a Malaysian restaurant somewhere, go try it. It's actually fantastic. It's a great dish. Another thing is about the food. There's so much other food here. You have to remember Malaysia. Yes, Malaysia is a Malay country. The inhabitants here are Malay, but Malaysians are not only Malay. There are Chinese Malaysians, there are Indian Malaysians, and it's great because it's multi-ethnic. So not only they bring other languages into the culture, but there's so much more food options here for you. The Chinese food, the Indian food, especially the Indians here, I think they're mostly from southern India. So they have like this like banana leaf type of food. It's fantastic. That was my first time trying that. Chinese food here is massive because of their population here in Kuala Lumpur and because of all the tourists that also come from China and support the Malaysian economy. So food options here are vast. You want Korean food, Mont Kiara, tons of Korean restaurants there. You want Japanese food. There's construction everywhere. I told you guys. They're building like crazy in Kuala Lumpur. Anyways, Japanese food is you want Middle Eastern food? Bukit Bintang, you could find like 150 different types of Middle Eastern food. That's how good it is here. And the Middle Eastern food, I'll tell you the truth, is amazing here. Like, it is, I will have to say it's as authentic as it gets, for real. I'm not even joking. So, if you come here, you're tired of Malaysian food, you've had too much nasi lemak, you've had too much Chinese food, there's so many different options you could have. Like you don't have to have the same food every day. You're not locked down because even the other options, they taste really good. See, look, for example here, you get yourself a nice beef shawarma, 16 ringgit.
Oh, burger.
Yeah, I'll pay with card. This is famous Iraqi bread.
Yes, bro.
How are you, my friend? I got the beef one. You have samoon, right? Samoon bread?
Samoon,
yeah, please.
Beef, yeah?
Beef. Gus.
Banyak makanan, banyak jenis-jenis
Gus,
ya.
right?
Makanan Korea, Arab,
First customer?
Chinese, India,
First customer? Me?
Malay,
No? Today,
Jepang
first
ya.
me? No? Kurosh. You?
Rival.
Rival.
Yeah.
Iraqi?
In Syria.
Syria. Ah, nice. Nice to meet you. Kifa.
Alhamdulillah.
And right here. They heat it up for you nicely before putting it in the samoon. Yeah, for you guys that don't know, samoon is like an Iraqi bread. It's almost like a... Here's what it looks like. It's got a different shape to it. It's like a coned baguette, or I don't know how to explain it, but this is how it looks. Food is extremely affordable here. It tastes fantastic. There's so many different ethnicities here. Like, it's very multicultural. So, as you guys saw right now, fresh food right in front of you, different ethnicities. It doesn't matter like what kind of food you want. You could find it for an affordable price here. There's a lot of places that are also like very high end too. Personally, I've never been to them because I find like the food on the streets, in the malls, in the restaurants, they're enough for me. Like, I don't need to go to like a crazy bougie place. But from what I've heard, even the international brands that are here, like the Nobus and whatnot, they're not as expensive as the ones outside of here.
Teman-teman, nah tadi katanya itu ya banyak kali dia cakap affordable ya, sangat terjangkau juga ya. Kalau bagi-bagi mereka memang yang uang ditukar daripada dolar. Memang kalau ke Malaysia, especially-nya dekat negara Asia ini memang sangat mereka suka bilang murah ya, cheap ya. Memang betul ya teman-teman, kalau ditukarkan di sini $1 kira-kira 4 ringgit lebih ya. Jadi itulah mereka suka datang ke sini ya. Semua dikatakannya wow, banyak murah. Jadi semua mau makan pun apapun ada di sini. Daripada negara lain pun tak payah kita susah-susah kemana-mana, banyak negara ya. Di Malaysia ini, di KL ini ya, semua boleh kita jumpai makanan-makanan daripada negara luar negara. Jepang, Korea ya, Chinese food, Indian food, Melayu juga ada. Mau try Malay food pun banyak ya teman-teman. Nah itu yang mereka sangat suka di sini. Oke.
This tastes so good. I wish you guys were here to share this with me. Now, lastly, I have to say, it is a great place to make your base. What do I mean by that? If you're looking for a base to park all your stuff, you know, get a short-term rental, 6 months to a year, and travel throughout all of Asia, this is a great place to do that because, you know, you're very close to Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, China. There's multiple flights every single day to Korea, to Japan. You want to go to Australia, there's multiple flights. There's also many flights that go to the Middle East, and there's flights that even go all the way to London. So you're not somewhere that's so closed off where, you know, you're just stuck here, God forbid anything happen, or if you want to travel to other countries for like a few days and come right back to your home. It's a very good location, especially if you're looking to travel this part of the world. And this is the busiest part of KL, as you can see based on the traffic behind me and ahead of me. So you're probably saying to yourself, you know, you like it so much, you love Malaysia, you love the infrastructure, you love the people, you love the food, you've been bigging them up this whole video. Why are you leaving? What's going on? Like, what don't you like? Like, what's making you leave? And it is exactly why I'm indoors right now. Because it is too hot and you need constant air conditioning. So just to clarify, I love hot weather, but my hot weather is like 25 to 30 degrees. Malaysia's hot weather is like 35 plus. So pretty much for the last 2 months, every single day that I've been here, it's been approximately 35 degrees or higher every single day. And I know some people might not believe me, so let me pull out the weather app and show you how hot it is right now. So if you look over here,
sekarang musim hujan sudah ya. Mungkin dia buat video ini time panas ya.
Yeah, right here. My location right now it's 33 degrees. Every day, look, 34, 33, 33, whatever. And then when you come down here, it feels like 38 degrees. Yeah, so it might say that it's under 35 degrees on the weather app, but what it feels like with the humidity is always much higher. Like the highest that I've seen in here was 41 degrees. It's too humid for me. Like me personally, I can't handle it. I know a lot of people that love the humidity and love this heat. But personally, it's not for me. Why? Because I love being outside. I love walking. I like walking through the city. I like walking everywhere. I like being outside. Or I like having my window open. I don't like my air conditioning on 24/7, like shooting into my face, right? For me, that's the main reason why I'm leaving, because it's just way too humid for me. Like, I always thought I loved hot weather until I came here and I realized what real hot weather is. I quickly realized that my hot weather is more like 25 to 30 degrees. But like hot weather here, so like Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, Vietnam, it's like 35 plus every single day almost. What's crazy is when I speak to the locals, they all tell me like this is all new. Like this kind of heat was not around like even just a few years ago. Some of them were even telling me when they were growing up in the 90s, in the mornings it was actually cold every single day in Kuala Lumpur. So I don't know what's going on, if it's global warming or if it's just these past.
Oke teman-teman, nah itu tadi yang dikatakannya apa yang membuat dia suka. Tapi disayangkan ya, mungkin dia tak terbiasa dengan cuaca yang panas kita ini. Nah ini videonya beberapa bulan yang lalu ya teman-teman. Nah memang waktu ketika itu beberapa bulan yang lalu memang tak tahu saya pun ada panas sangat ya. Ada masanya panas sangat. Padahal sebelumnya pun tak sepanas itu kan. Tapi waktu beberapa bulan yang lalu ini, macam 6 bulan yang lalu gitu ya, videonya memang time itu sangat panas ya teman-teman. Tapi sekarang sudah berubah lagi ya. Sekarang udah sama agak sejuk sikit ya, hujan begitu. Oke, nah mungkin ada yang tak terbiasa. Nah, panas di kita di Asia ini ya teman-teman, macam contohnya Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, itu berbeda ya dengan panasnya dekat negara mereka ya. Kalau di sini panasnya tuh mereka berpeluh ya teman-teman. Kalau ada di beberapa negara dia panas, tapi dia tuh ada banyak angin, macam udaranya itu tetap sejuk, jadi membuat mereka itu tetap kering ya, macam tak berpeluh lah, tak berkeringat gitu. Jadi mereka mungkin tak biasa ya. Jadi ya itu mungkin alasan ya, kalau cuaca kita tidak boleh merubahnya ya. Ya itu adalah keadaan alam ya kan. Oke teman-teman, so segitu aja video kali ini. Menurut kalian seperti apa tentang video beberapanya yang sudah kita jelaskan tadi? Boleh kasih penerangan ataupun tanggapan kalian dekat ruang komen. Terima kasih. See you on my next video. Bye.